Angerfoot tries to follow in the blood-soaked footsteps of Hotline Miami, but this over-the-top shooter seems to have made a few missteps on its murderous marathon. In the most crime-filled and corrupt state of the world, where crime is in fact legal, we are on a quest to recover our missing sneakers after the 4 most violent gangs of the city have taken them. And to get them back, we are going to run, shoot, and do a whole lot of kicking to get them back. Our gameplay here with Angerfoot is all about going from level to level, kicking and shooting your way through a myriad of enemies. Each enemy has a few kind of basic behaviors to it, and you'll fight different enemies with different weapons and strategies as the game goes on. In order to get through the level, you can recover your health a little bit after taking damage, but you do not have a huge health pool. Get from beginning to end, and you'll move on to the next level. Each level has a total of 3 challenges for you to go after, and the 3 challenges differ level by level. By completing them, you will unlock new sneakers, which is Angerfoot's version of the masks from Hotline Miami. They could help you, they could hurt you, they could do something very weird. It all depends on the footwear that you want to wear. Now, the gunplay and general combat in this one, it's trying to elicit the same kind of find that perfect line flow state from Hotline Miami and a few of the other action games we've played, but I feel like there's a conflict between what the game wants you to do and what the game kind of forces you to do. Because this is played in first person, not isometric, it means that you can't see where the enemies are going from room to room. So you kind of lose that sense of kind of that peripheral or that extrasensory vision that allows you to plot a course. The gun-based enemies have some very good accuracy to them, and it is incredibly easy to take lots of damage in any kind of mid to large size area, especially once you start fighting multiple gun enemies who are all in different corners of the screen. This is not a game, at least from what we played, that gives you new tech or upgrades. What you get at the beginning is what you get until the very end. Other than, of course, the sneaker upgrades or the sneaker choices that if you want to go down that route. So the safest or most optimal way of playing this game is to take it very slow. But taking it very slow, again, is a conflict with the fast-paced chaotic nature that the game is trying to put in. I love the aesthetic of this with this kind of like grunge cartoon look and feel. But you can't just run through room, killing everything that gets in your way in this game. Because the second more than 2 or 3 enemies kind of lock onto you with their guns, you're kind of in trouble. And there are a lot of times where I was killed by something that I didn't even see on the screen. And the game really loves to hide enemies behind corners or behind a wall that they'll just pop their head out and start hitting you when you didn't even realize they were there. Now, there are boss fights as well, and I found the boss fights to be some of the easier fights in this entire game. And that is not bad. But I wish that as the game goes on, that the level design would become a little bit more interesting, a little bit more varied. The difficulty does get higher as the levels get longer and there are no in-mission checkpoints, at least from what we got to in the game. It means that you're going to be losing more and more time if that one grenade or that one shot that you didn't see coming gets you. And the mission objectives are some of my least favorite kind in an action game like this. They are set up that it is quite literally impossible to get all 3 challenges done on a single play. You'll get a challenge as beat a level only using kicking, next to get 20 perfect headshots, and that is of course not going to be really possible. And I was unfortunately disappointed in this one. It's kind of lacking in that feel that you want out of a Hotline Miami or a very high-paced action game, where you want the player to feel encouraged to run into a room guns out, foot a-blazing, and start dealing with everything that gets in your way. This is certainly not an example of push forward combat either. Again, keeping with the Hotline Miami just run go nuts style. But if you go nuts, you're gonna get shot by, well, some gun nuts who are gonna get you. And unfortunately, this is gonna be one of those games where if it starts to frustrate you, there's nothing else that's really going to keep you involved with it. And I see that this is going to be for someone who's going to really love, kind of, again, like the Hotline Miami, run to room, die. Run to room, die again. Run to room, kill everything. And just that, again, randomness and chaoticness. And if you're hoping for anything that's more refined or evolved, you're unfortunately not going to find it here with Angerfoot. So, with that said, while unfortunately this game didn't quite do it for me, I'm curious what you think about this one down below, as I'm sure there's going to be fans of the, again, grunge aesthetic and just music pulsing nature of this one. This was played with a press key provided by the developer. Limited to your game for a future stream, video, showcase, whatever. Please reach out. And with that said, everyone, enjoy the rest of the day and do some more running and kicking on your own. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.